You just found out that your husband and the father of your child was actually a convicted rapist and was actually in jail for 10 years before you met him. Hello everyone. It's been a minute. It's been quite some time, and I'm sorry. I was just lazy. I got tired of editing such long videos, but I'm back here because one, I miss you guys, and two, I just read the craziest story that I've gotten in my DMs so far. Not so far, like this year. I would say like this story that I read is the craziest one I've read this year. But when I was reading this, I was like, you know what, this is going to be too much for me to put on TikTok. It will be too graphic, just too much overall. So here I am, because I want to share it with you guys. So let's get on with today's story. Hello everyone, we're back with another story. This is another one of the story submissions in my DMs. So this story started with a girl, and we're gonna call her, oh, what should we call her? Should we do cars again? I've done cars multiple times already. We're gonna call her Santan, because I can't really think of anything else to name. I don't know. I think I'm running out of ideas, guys. I'm getting old. So this story started with Santan. Now Santan's friends with this other girl online, and she met this girl through like a gaming platform, I think, and they've been friends for I think almost a year. This friend of hers has a brother, an older brother, and the way that Santan was introduced to this brother was through her friends' social media postings. So Santan would often see pictures of her brother online, and then her friend would upload pictures of her brother leading the prayers for her family. And then one day, this friend of hers told Santan that, hey, can I introduce you to my brother? And Santan was like, oh, okay. But her friend did tell Santan that her brother is an ex-convict. He was imprisoned for quite some time, and he just recently, got out of prison. Now, initially, she never really told Santan why her brother went to prison, like what was he charged of. I can't speak today. I don't know what's going on. But I guess Santan was never really worried about his past. So then she told her friend that, yeah, I would love to get to know your brother. And then fast forward after some time, this friend of hers came to Santan again and told Santan that, hey, I introduced you to my brother, and my brother is extremely interested in getting to know you a lot deeper. And then after that, they started to talk lah, Santan and also her friend's brother. Now Santan's friend at that time told Santan that her brother was already prepared to get married. Like, he has had enough savings, he had a stable job, he was working with his brother-in-law, so everything was set. He was just missing a wife, and apparently at that time he really wanted one. He really wanted a wife. So after hearing all of this, Santan was like, you know what, yeah, like why not try this again? So this guy, we should name him Halia. Don't ask me why. So after Santan accepted their relationship, Halia came to her house, and then they do marisi and everything, and then they got engaged in July 2022. And then they got married in December 2022. During the engagement term, when they were still engaged before they got married, they discussed with each other about their past, what they'd done wrong and everything. And obviously she asked him what he did for him to, be in prison and whatsoever. And he said that he was he got into like some gang activities and drug activities, and he was sentenced for 10 years. Okay, and when I say drug activities, it's not even like full on like dangerous drugs or whatever. It's just like gum, it's up gum. I don't know what it is in English, but yeah. And then she told him about her past as well, because apparently in this DM she said that obviously everyone has their own past, made their own mistakes and whatsoever. So they talked it out, and then both of them decided to accept them for who they are at that time. So they didn't want to think about the past anymore. So after getting married, immediately nothing was fine. Like immediately something's just off about Halia. And it was because he was hyperactive in the bedroom. He wanted it like 5 times a day. He wanted it all the time. Every single hour he would ask Santan to do the thing. And it's gotten to a point where Santan was like, you know what, I can't even do this anymore. It's gotten to a point where her downward region was leaking greenish discharge that's extremely questionable, and he would often just ignore her afterwards. He would do that with her and then he would just leave. There were no aftercare, there were no other form of affection other than just doing it every hour. Santan found out that the reason behind this was because his dad was running a business. It was a DRUG business. They were running a DRUG business. It's a katum business. So that's what he was always so busy with, I guess. And another fun fact, Santa told me that after she got married to Halia, when they first started doing it, I feel like I said doing it a lot in this video, but the entire problem is based on the fact that they're always doing it. So the first time that Santan and Halia done it, she found out, see, I did not know that you can do this, but she found out that Halia inserted a sort of like a small ball into his thingy majingy, and he did that in prison. Someone in prison helped him with that, and I guess it was for pleasure. See, I didn't know any of this is possible, but apparently this is what Halia did in prison. And obviously when they first started doing it, Santan noticed this, and Santan was like, you have to get rid of it right now. You had get rid of it right now. And then he got rid of it. But that was something new, I guess, for Santan and also for me, because I didn't know that was possible. And other than those two extremely big news for her to accept, and also for me and for you guys to accept, he kept pressuring her into having the thing with him, to the point that she was tired, and she said no because she was too tired, she can't do it anymore. And then on March 2023, Santan's family had some sort of like an issue in their family where she felt like she needed to be there with them. So obviously she told Halia about it, and she was like, hey, can I go home to my family? I want to visit my family. There were issues in my family that I need to help them out. And that was sort of just an excuse, because Santan extremely missed her family. At that point, Halia made it like a thing where he was like, oh, if you want to marry me, you have to like live with me and my parents. And Santan was okay with that. His parents are nice, so there were no issues. But obviously she missed her parents and she missed her family. So she told Halia that, hey, I need your permission. I want to go back home to my home for a bit and just like visit everyone. And before she asked him for permission to go back to her hometown, she took a pregnancy test, and that test came out positive, so she was pregnant at that time. And for some reason, when she was pregnant with her child, it seemed like she was allergic to Halia. It got into a point where whenever Halia touched her, she would just like flinch, and she said that she felt like her skin was burning. And because of this, Halia was extremely offended, I guess. He got scared, not scared, I think he just got upset. Santan told Halia that, hey, I'm pregnant. And at that point, Halia wasn't happy because Santan rejected his advances, because at that time he wanted to do it, but Santan didn't want to do it. And then Santan was like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. I don't want to do that, but I want to talk to you about something. I'm pregnant. He was not affected by the news at all. He didn't even care that she was pregnant. So obviously her emotional brain texted him and was like, oh, so you don't even care? You don't even care that I'm pregnant, is it? You just don't care? What, you want me to just abort the baby? You want me to just get rid of the baby? Is that it? They keep arguing, and then they got to the date where he was supposed to send her to her town, to her hometown. After he sent her to her hometown, he texted her saying that he felt like this is it. Like, their relationship is it. Like, there's no more future for them. In Malay, he said, kita sampai sini je lah. And in Islam, that's enough for I guess divorce, and so that's the first talak lah. So that's when the first talak jatuh. In May 2023, they got legally divorced. She was still pregnant at that time, so according to her, because I don't know how the legal proceedings work, she said here that, oh yeah, even though he technically lafaz when she was still pregnant, they would have to wait for her to give birth, and then they would officially be divorced, right? So after he told her about the divorce, that he wanted to divorce her, like 2-3 weeks after that, before they finalized the divorce, he was still asking her to sleep with him, to do it, because in his words, he said that, oh yeah, because we're still halal, we're still technically married, so we can do it anytime we want, and it would still be halal. But you don't have to worry, you're not bound to me. After you give birth, our divorce would be finalized, so we can just do freebies. And this thing went on even after she gave birth to their child. So the plan was, this is another thing that I want to tell you guys. The plan was, she would take care of the child when she was still in her pantang. She made a deal with him that she would take care of the child when dia dalam pantang. But he wanted to take the child right after she was done with the pantang. And this is why. Number one, she wasn't mentally stable. That's his claim. He claimed that Santan wasn't mentally stable. Santan does not have a stable job. And number three, he printed out the message where Santan told him, remember when I told you that Santan said in her message, like, oh, do you even want this child? If you don't want this child, I'll abort this baby. I'll get rid of it. Remember that? Yeah, he used that text message. He printed that out. And he told Santan that if I were to show this to court, you're not gonna get the custody of the baby anyway. So just give the child to me. And I guess Santan was scared at that time. So Santan was just like, you know what? After pantang, I'm just gonna send you the child. So that's what they did. Halia's mother was taking care of the kid, obviously. Now this went on for 2 years. Halia was taking care of the kid for 2 years. Not Halia, technically, his mom was taking care of the kid for 2 years. And during those 2 years of time, Halia kept on pestering Santan to sleep with him every single week. Can you imagine? And he would often use the child as like bait for Santan to come over and like spend time with him and spend the night with him whatsoever. And every time Santan would often just say no. It's gotten to a point where Santan texted his sister. Santan was just telling Halia's sister about what Halia has been doing, what Halia has been saying to her, and how it was inappropriate, and maybe that Halia's sister could help her out and, you know, talk to Santan about this. And that's when she found out that apparently the reason why Halia was locked up for 10 years, in jail for 10 years, it was because he raped a girl. It wasn't because of drugs. It wasn't because how he was involved with like gang activities or anything. No. He got in for 10 years because he raped a poor girl. And the reason why Halia's sister finally told Santan about this, it was because he was doing it again with someone in the same village, in their village. And that girl was, I guess, she wanted to lodge a police report, and then Halia's mother came forward and apologized to her and offered her to get married to Halia, but then the girl didn't want to get married to Halia. So I guess Halia's sister just sort of like macam had enough and she told Santan about it. So obviously Santan's stressed out because she was married to our PIST. Not only that, she left her child with him. Santan told me that she consulted her lawyer friends to ask what to do, and I guess her lawyer friend told her that she can't really win this because, like I told you, she's not mentally stable, she's not financially stable, and there were those screenshots where she told Halia that she wanted to get rid of the baby, so she's not really in a position where she could win the custody. But at the same time, obviously she's worried because now she knows that her ex-husband, si Halia too, was our PIST, and she didn't know what to do. So, and she didn't deny that he was a great father. Like, he took care of their child, I guess, perfectly. Like, the child was never neglected, the child was spoiled, like, it was everything was fine, but it was just that she's just worried. But at the same time, she said that she can't really do anything, and the reason why she submitted the story to me and wanted me to share it to you guys was because she wanted for us to, like, pray for her. And I guess just watching and listening to her story being told to you guys and, like, being put out there would make her feel more at ease, I guess. So that's why she's, like, telling me the story. However, I can't, I wasn't, she asked me, she never told me any information so whatsoever, so it's not like I can tell you guys who the father is, where they're from and everything. So I don't know anything about, like, this family. It's just that I know, unfortunately, I know bad things about their family, but I don't know who they are, and I can't really tell you guys any of it. I don't think I can if I know, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I guess this story sort of affected me in a way that it made me realize that the world is real, if you know what I mean. It's real, because I never thought that this would be someone's real experience. Like, I expected this from a movie, expected this from a TV series or whatsoever, but this really, like, opened my mind. And I guess the pengajaran, the lesson that we can take from this is be careful again out there. Every single stories, all of my pengajaran would always just be careful out there, and I know it's getting repetitive. And I would say, please investigate the person that you're gonna marry. Or if you're ever thinking of getting into a long-term relationship with someone, I would suggest for you to investigate, and this goes to both men and women as well. Please investigate who you're about to marry, who you're about to get into a relationship with. It's just, I guess nowadays it's just, you just have to do it because it's crazy out there. But yeah, I guess that's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I am so sorry about the delay and the long break that I took. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you do like it, and share this video if you want to, like, I don't even know anymore. I'm still kind of like taken aback by the story. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any stories of your own that you would like to share, my DMs always open for both men and women. See you next week, inshallah, everyone. Bye bye.